Hey you guys, how's it going? It's Tang here. So today in this guide video, we're going to be looking at the Thrill build for the Monk for Season 4 Conquest Achievement. Right here, it's called the Thrill because it is thrilling not to use any single set bonus. No, not really. It's horrible. Anyways, but it's actually super easy. It sounds hard, but it's actually really easy as you're watching the gameplay. It's super easy, but you cannot use any of the armor bonus sets at all. So no Julianas, no Innas, no Remnants of a Thousand Storm, but that doesn't mean we can't have weapon bonuses at all. So this skill is primarily based on the Fire Spirit Generator build, which means that we're going to be using certain items from that build itself. Anyways, so let's take a look at the armor, the weapons that we need, the gears. I like saying gears. The gears that we need, the spirit, the skills, the paragon levels, the legendary gems, and the Kanai cube. Not in that particular order, but anyways, let's go and take a look at it. So the first items we need is going to be the Shenlong Spirit with Fist of Legend and Relentless Assault. To give us the 2-set bonus, the first section is going to be the damage of your Spirit Generator is increased by 1.5% of each point of Spirit you have. So I have right now currently 330% bonus, which means that every single point of Spirit I have is increasing my Spirit Generator damage by that much. So maximum is going to be 330 right now, which multiplied by 1.5 equals 495% maximum points. Increase in damage of my Spirit Generator. Not only that, but when it hits maximum spirit, it's gonna give me an extra 100% increase in damage as well. So that's a lot. So we want to maintain that maximum amount of spirit as much as we can to get that second passive and of course the first passive as well. And it does get drains once you hit 100% spirit. Anyway, so that's why we want to maintain that as much as possible. So the next item we need is going to be the focus and restraint. So every single time we use our Spirit Generator and our Spirit Spender, we're going to gain a buff each individually. So 50% from one, 50% from the other, and that's going to be that buff there. So those are the 2 sets that we need, period. The next item we need is going to be the Death Digger to increase our Spirit Generator by X amount. So the maximum is going to be 100. I got 92% right here, but I have an ancient one as well. So that's pretty much offset right there. So that's one we need. Next is going to be the Mage Fist to increase our fire damage because it can increase our fire damage by 15 to 20%. I have 19% there, as much as we can, as high as we can, which is nice. And then the Cinder Coat here, not because of the resource reduction of fire, because nothing we use is going to be spending fire from the Spirit Spender, but it helps us increase our spirit damage. So that means from our Spirit Generator, that's going to be increasing that. Not only that, but of course our Firewalkers for boots right here, that does help. There is no other good boots to use, so these are good in itself because it increases the fire damage from the Cinder Coat and the Mage Fist, and it burns for X amount, so 300 to 400%. That's pretty good. And when you stand still and everything mob is around you, they all pretty much burn. Anyway, so the next item we need is going to be the Eye of Peshkov. Now the reason is because we want to reduce Breath of Heaven as much as possible. This is to help us with healing and also regenerating spirit as much as we can. We're going to be using infused with light, I believe. Yes, infused with light. So after we use Breath of Heaven, it's going to increase an extra 14 spirit from our Spirit Generator. So that's why we want that right there, to maintain our spirit as high as possible. Okay, and for the neck, we're going to be using the Hellfire Amulet with either Beacon of Vitar would be best in slot. Near Death Experience is really good as well, just in case, if you do die, you come back again without any penalty. So that's there. If you don't have Hellfire Amulet, then get the Eye of Ouch, which helps you to decrease in damage from range, or you can have the Flavor of Time to increase your cooldown reduction. But I mean, with Season 4 and everything, you should get the Hellfire Amulet really easily. So there's really no excuse, even I have it. Anyways, for the belts, you can use the Vigilante belt or the Witching Hour or the Strings of Ears. I go for the Witching Hour, so that increases my damage. It's really up to you if you want damage or cooldown reduction or reduce in melee damage from the Strings of Ears. Okay, for the bracers, we want the strong arm bracers. Now the reason for this is because enemies hit by knockback suffer X amount more damage for 5 seconds when they land. So I've covered this in the Crusaders Condemned build. Anything that pulls or pushes equals a knockback effect. So we're using Cyclone Strike to pull everything in. Sorry, Cyclone Strike right here to pull everything in, right? So when that animation does is it looks like it's a knockback, but it's pulling forward. So that still counts. That still counts for that effect, okay? So it's going to be increasing damage, so that's why we want the strong arm bracers. If you don't want the strong arm bracers, you can use the spirit guards in here if you want to, but there is really no other good pretty much bracers for us to use in this instance, unless you're using Cyclone Strike with Wall of Wind. Then you can use the Ancient Parthen Defenders to reduce your damage for each enemy stun within 25 yards. Frozen equals stun. Yes, frozen equals stun, so you can do that as well. And yeah, so that's why we use strong arm bracers. So choice is up to you. For the shoulders, there is really no good shoulders, so just pick any damage shoulders you want to. Let's see in here, is there any good other shoulders that we can pick from? No. So, yeah, so the Death Watch Mantle is pretty good. You can also use maybe... Ooh, I can't go forward. Let's go backward. Pauldrons of the Skeleton Kings, I don't know. These are pretty much good shoulders. Anyways, so that is for the gear sets, and let's look at the Kanai Cube right here. We want Unity Ring so that we can survive a lot more. Even though we have Unity Ring, don't underestimate Greater Rift 40 mobs. They can definitely still kill you. Next, we're gonna be using Spirit Guards to increase our toughness right there, because we are using Spirit Generators. So that's why we have the Spirit Guards to do that. For the weapon, we're going to be using Flying Dragons just to double our attack speed, which means that we can regain spirit as fast as we can, and of course damaging mobs as fast as we can as well. So that's for the Kanai Cube. For the legendary gems, we want the Simplicity Strength to increase our damage of our Spirit Generator by X amount, and of course heal us for 2% of our maximum life on hit. That's weird. Anyway, so we're going to use that, and then we're going to use the Gokak Swiftness to increase our attack speed and reduce our cooldown reduction. And lastly is going to be the Bane of Traps, so that we can increase in our damage. So those are the 3 legendary gems that I would definitely recommend using. For our Paragon levels, so you want everything into dexterity, because we're going to be using dashing strike. There's no point in using movement speed at all. Everything into dexterity, which means increase in toughness and your damage. For offensive, cooldown reduction first, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and attack speed. And defense is going to be resist all, armor, life regen, and then life. Lastly is going to be utility, which is going to be life on hit, area damage, and then resource cost reduction, because we're actually not really using that much Spirit Spender. So those are for your Paragon levels. Lastly is going to be our skills, because this is based on the Fire Spirit Generator build. We're going to be using Crippling Wave with Mango. It will decrease their movement speed and attack speed by 30 and 20% respectively. That's why we want that as well. So there we go. Primary skill is going to be Crippling Wave Mango. And then the another one is going to be Cyclone Strike, just so we can pull everything, every mob in, so we don't have to run around, you know. So everything is in one place for us. That's why we want a Cyclone Strike. Implosion. Now, if you don't want to use Implosion, you can use Wall of Wind to stun every mob, but you're not pulling everything in, because the normal yard for Cyclone Strike is 24 yards. Implosion is 34 yards. So that does really help to pull everything in really well. We're using Epiphany and Mantra of Salvation. Well, Desert Shroud for Epiphany, and then Mantra of Salvation Agility for that toughness, survivability. That's why we use it. And Breath of Heaven when using infused with the light, so that we gain more spirit within 5 seconds after using it, so we can maintain our spirit, which means we maintain our damage output of our Spirit Generator. Lastly is going to be your choice. You can use Dashing Strike with Radiance to move around really quick, and also increase in your attack speed as well. So that means that you can do more Mango really fast. If you can't survive, then Blinding Speed would definitely be it. But to be honest, it's super easy. It's not hard at all. if you have trouble, then I don't know, level your paragons even more. Another choice is you can use Inner Sanctuary with Forbidden Palace if you stay in one place a lot, but it doesn't look like you need that. So Dashing Strike with Radiance is really great. As you're seeing, I'm moving about and it's pretty easy. For our passive, we want Beacon of Yitar for our cooldown reduction. I can't pronounce this one, so Alaras, whatever. It increases the attack speed of our Spirit Generator. Can someone please help me pronounce this? Anyways, but it helps to increase our Spirit Generator by 15%, so that means attack speed is much faster. We want Harmony to increase our toughness, or you can use Sixth Sense if you want to as well, but because we're surrounded by mobs doing melee, we may want to use a Harmony instead of Sixth Sense. Lastly is going to be the Exalted Soul. This is your choice. Okay, so the Exalted Soul helps to increase our maximum spirit by an extra 50 and regens our spirit as well. So now with that on, I have 345 maximum spirit, so that's quite a lot increase in damage itself. So give me a moment. 1.5 times it by 345 equals 515% increase in damage once that is maximum, or close to maximum anyways. Or if you really want more survivability, then Chant of Resonance would be for you, so you can spam Mantra of Salvation all the time and every time you want to do that. So that's pretty much up to you for the passive. Sorry for the passive right there, but I would go with Exalted Soul so that you can have more increase in damage. Remember, survivability equals how fast you can kill things. That's survivability in Diablo 3. For the follower, the Templar always have his your follower immortality relic right there, and then Unity Ring. I would definitely recommend the Azarath now, because a lot of mobs, pretty much a high majority percentage of mobs, are undead and demons. They will take an extra X amount from the Azarath from the Templar. Not that much, but it's still nice. Not only that, but the chance on freeze on hit is good as well for the bosses, or single targeting. So that's there. And then for him, we're going to use heal, loyalty, and then charge, and lastly is going to be guardian. We're not using inspire. The reason, because we're using a spirit generator. There's no point in using inspire. So that is for your Templar. That's my recommendation for him. Anyways, that is it for the guide. It's super easy. It might sound like it's hard because we're used to having our set bonuses blow everything up, right? But it's really easy. It's super easy. As you can see right now, I'm finishing off this rift with like 6 minutes left. It's not that hard at all. It sounds difficult, but it's not hard. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this guide, please a thumbs up would definitely be appreciated. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And don't forget to press subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!